All right, Shalom. Shalom to the elect of Israel, whoever you might be out there. I want to start off as always by giving all praise, all honor, all glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha Kodash, and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. And Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the elect out there, whoever you might be. Shalom to the 140 and 4,000. It's the brother Amawan Padah for the GMS Denver camp, coming at you with another lesson. And you might be wondering why I have a picture of Steve Harvey up here. All right, the host of that show, Family Feud. If you've seen the show, then you know what goes on in that show. All right, different contestants are asked, a series of questions. All right, and they have to give an answer. All right, and one episode in particular comes to mind because me and the brothers were talking about this recently at the last, sit down that we did. This particular episode in which Steve asked this man a question, and the question that he asked him, and the man that that was the contestant, he was a so-called black man, all right, an Israelite, okay, but he was asked the question, all right, what would you want if you could go to heaven? Like, you know what I'm saying? He asked the question like, if you could have anything in heaven, what would you want? Right? Look, man, tell me why this dude answered a good job. That was his answer. All right. Out of all the things he could have said, all right, he said that he would want a good job in heaven. And this shows you how a lot of our people are just mentally gone, man. Spiritually and mentally gone. All right, you gotta ask yourself, what kind of mindset does this dude have, man? He's completely indoctrinated in Babylon the Great, man. And that's the majority of our people, the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. Their mind is trapped in this setup, man, this current society, which is coming to an end, by the way. All right, they don't have a kingdom mindset. All right, and the scripture comes to mind, along the lines of I believe it says, is Israel an homeborn slave? Matter of fact, let's find that real quick. But even Steve, in that episode, he looked at that dude like he was crazy. Like, what are you talking about, man? Why the hell do you want to have a job in heaven? Doesn't even make sense. But that's how gone our people are, man. All right, and a lot of them are going to take that RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, because they can't see outside of this current setup. All right, here we have the book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, starting at verse 13. It says, for my people have committed two evils. They have forsaken me, the fountain of living waters, and hewed them out cisterns, broken cisterns that can hold no water. What is that talking about, man? Well, the Lord's people are the Israelites. All right? 12 tribes of Israel, those are the Lord's people. We are the Lord's people, should I say. So-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, and the Israelite foreigners scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, who by their father's seed line go back to being of one of the 12 tribes of Israel, sons of Jacob. Now, this is talking about how our people forsook the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and went into the ways of the heathen, worshiping false idols. All right, depending on things outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, who is our life. You understand? So they hewed them out cisterns that couldn't hold no water, meaning the things that they, I'll say we, because we're all a part of this, right, as a nation, the things that we cleaved unto didn't really hold any weight, man. Because anything outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is vanity. You understand? The heathen aren't here to help us, man. These jobs, you see, these jobs that we have, you know what I'm saying? They don't sustain us, man. It's the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Understand that He's the one who sustains us. He is the source of the living waters. Anything outside of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai will fail you every time. Okay, and here's the point right here. Verse 14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? And the answer to that is no, man. We're not a homeborn slave. We are the royalty of the earth, man. As it tells you in Deuteronomy 7 and verse 6, Deuteronomy 14 and 2, all throughout the scriptures, man. But we've been cast down to this lower state due to our what? Rebellion against the Lord, man. Seeking after ways wherein was no profit. All right. And to this day, you got a lot of our people that are still cleaving unto Esau, man. Still cleaving unto his system, looking to him for salvation. And that's why I said earlier that a lot of our people that had an institutionalized mindset are going to take what? The mark of the beast, man, which is the RFID microchip. And they're getting ready to bring it. All right. They're not seeking the source of the living waters, man. Yahweh Bashem Al Shai. So as this, system is being collapsed, and the squeeze is put on the society even more, you're gonna have our people in the droves bound down to Esau, Edom, man. Guys that just want a good job, you know what I'm saying? That's all they can see in this life, man. It is having the American dream. You know what I'm saying? That shit is over, man. We understand what's going on. All right? You gotta be asleep to believe in the American dream, as they say. All right, here we have the book of Isaiah, chapter 30, and I'm gonna start at verse 1 and read down just a little bit. All right. It says, "Woe to the rebellious children, saith the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, they take counsel, but not of me. They cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin." And that goes into the rebels of our people, man. The 2/3 here in America and the rebels across the world, man. They're not covering themselves with the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Their covering is Esau society, their money, their bank accounts, their jobs. You see what I'm saying? They completely depend on this system, man. Not even seeking the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse 2, it says, "They walk to go down into Egypt and have not asked in my mouth, to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh and to trust in the shadow of Egypt." All right, you see that there? We're in modern day Egypt, aka America, aka Babylon the Great. You see what I'm saying? AKA Sodom. You know why? They trust in this place, man, wholeheartedly. And it's just weird to see because the Lord has opened our eyes up. You know what I'm saying? We see that this is nothing more than a captivity and it's a punishment unto us. But the rest of our people, they really put all their effort and dreams and hopes into making it here, man. To making it in Esau society, which is nothing but vanity, man. It's a corrupt society meant to keep you down, man. So even when you think you're winning, you're not really winning. You could have all the money in the world, but you're still losing because you don't make the laws. You're still looked down upon. You're still a third-class citizen in the eyes of these people, man. Your God is not being upheld here. All right? Matter of fact, our God is blasphemed in this country, but you want it to continue on. You want to make it here. You're not in your right mind. And it says the shadow of Egypt, meaning what? It's fading away, man. This covering that you hide up under, known as American Babylon the Great, is fading away as we speak, man. So your trust in this place is vain. Verse 3, "Therefore shall the strength of Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt your confusion." And a lot of these people are about to be very confused in the days ahead of us, man. When the system that they trust in collapses right before them, right up under their feet. Not us. Okay? Let me jump down real quick. Okay? Verse 9. All right, it says that this is a rebellious people, lying children, children that will not hear the law of the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. All right? It took place back then and it's taking place again. There's nothing new under the sun. You see, they didn't want to hear the words of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. The majority of our people that are consumed in this place, all they see is Esau's system. They don't see the kingdom of heaven. They don't have that vision in their mind's eye of us being in authority and ruling in righteousness. They don't see Yahweh Shai coming back and casting down all rule and authority. They just want a good job, right? Which say to the seers, see not, and to the prophets, prophesy not unto us right things, speak unto us smooth things, prophesy deceits. And that's why a lot of these Christian church pastors, Salakia, that's why a lot of these Christian church pastors, these mega church pastors, all right, these false prophets, because that's what they are. That's why they're so popular, because They speak smooth things to these people. They don't want to give them the harsh truth or the reality of our situation. They tell them that, you pay your tithes, the Lord gonna bless you with a whole bunch of money. You're gonna get that good job and all this bullshit, man. The true prophets will be prophesying of what? Matter of fact, let me show you. Let's get a quick precept. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 28, starting verse 7. Nevertheless, hear thou now this word that I speak in thine ears, and in the ears of all the people. The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. And that's the truth, man. The Lord is bringing all these things. We're just here to tell you. We're just here to relay the message, man. But our people don't want to hear the message. Not understanding that it's not coming from us. It's coming from Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They call us what? The prophets of doom. Well, guess what? That's exactly what's coming to the world. Doom and gloom, especially to America, Babylon the Great. All right? That great whore. Nothing but doom and gloom is coming, whether you like it or not, man. We're not here to tell you lies and tell you that you're going to have a good job in 10 years from now. You know what I'm saying? We're not here to tell you that your kid's going to graduate from college and, nah, man. We ain't got that much time left. The Lord is finna end this place. You don't see what's going on in the news, man? The wars, the rumors of wars, all the signs that the Lord Yahushua gave us in Matthew 24 are here. Earthquakes in diverse places. You see what I'm saying? We're at the end of this shit. But Jake still, he's satisfied with a good job. You know what I'm saying? He don't want the kingdom. See, these things that are coming, that are mentioned right here, this is necessary for us to enter into our kingdom, man. Before Yahushua returns, these things must happen. You understand? America, Babylon the Great must fall. It must be taken down. Esau's entire power structure must be taken down. It's going to be a violent, chaotic overthrow. That's what's written. All right, so back in Isaiah 30, right, we left off of verse 10, how the people want the prophets to give them, a good story. They want the prophets to prophesy deceits and lies, man. All right, verse 11. Get you out of the way, turn aside out of the path, cause the Holy One of Israel to cease from before us. And that's how they feel about us, man. They don't want to hear what we got to say, because they didn't want to hear what the Lord Yahushua had to say when he was on the earth. All right, verse 12. Wherefore, thus saith the Holy One of Israel, because ye despise this word and trust in oppression and perverseness and stay thereon. You see, and that's our people right there. They trust in oppression. They trust in this system. We are yet this day in the land of our captivity. We're not free, man. If you can't see that by now, then, hey, it is what it is. The Lord has blinded your eyes, man. If you think that this system is the end all be all, you have a shot at really, living life here, then you got your damn mind. This ain't how life is intended to be by Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. You got a good job. You're getting a paycheck from your enemy. You know what I'm saying? Jake, what? Last hired, first fired. You see? When you're an employee, you're not getting the benefits of the job, really. You're getting the crumbs off the table, man. But Jake is okay with that. A lot of our people are, they're okay with that scenario. Nah, man. The elect, Lord willing, we're that number. We're not okay with that shit. We are the judges of the earth, the kings and the judges of the earth. Gods, as it tells us in Psalms 82 and verse 6. A God ain't supposed to be working for no goddamn devil, no Edomite, no fucking cave beast, or any heathen for that matter. But our people can't see it that way, man. So they're going to have to be reset by judgment. Now, verse 13, it says, therefore, this iniquity shall be to you as a breach ready to fall, swelling out in a high wall, whose breaking coming suddenly at an instant. That's right, the Lord going to break your ass. Those of you that are, continually cleaving onto this system. Yeah, we got to be here. We got to go to work right now. But we know it's not the end all be all. We're calling for this shit to fall. And that's exactly what the Lord is going to do. You see what I'm saying? But those of you that are cleaving onto this place, it's like you being on the Titanic, trying to hold on, though the ship is sinking. You knee deep in water, but you still trying to hold on to the goddamn boat, man. Look, the hell with y'all, man. We moving on. Okay, here we have the book of Baruch, chapter 3 and verse 6 in the Apocrypha, right? And it says, "For thou art the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, our power, and thee, O Yahweh Bashmi Shai, will we praise. And for this cause thou hast put thy fear in our hearts, to the intent that we should call upon thy name and praise thee in our captivity. For we have called to mind all the iniquity of our forefathers that sinned before thee." That's going on right now with the elect. All right. We're the hopeful elect, Lord willing, we are of that number. But, one thing that we will be doing is what? Recalling the sins of our past. Looking back and seeing how we were fucking up, And also we're praising the name, once again in these last days, the true names of Yahweh and the Son Yahweh Shai. So that's happening, man. Okay. Verse 8, here's the point right here. "Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, our power." See that? We're yet this day in our captivity. You understand? This is not our rest, as it tells you in Micah 2 and verse 10. All right, but Jake don't want to get out of here, man. They're praying for America to bounce back. You got these Christians talking about pray for America, pray for the Lord to heal America. Nah, man, what does it tell you in the scriptures, man? That Babylon cannot be healed. Babylon's going to be destroyed, man. AKA America is going to be destroyed. And along with America being destroyed, the rest of the beast system is going to fall and collapse as well, man. Especially when Yahweh Shah returns with the host of heaven. It's a wrap for this place, man. This place was never meant for us to prosper. The Lord sustained us here by his grace and his mercy. But now it's time to go, man. It's time to leave this shit and move on. All right? Having a good job and a nice car and, whatever the fuck people chase after in this life is not the end all be all to existence. The Lord has greater for us all throughout the scriptures, man. To the point where we gonna have servants. We're not gonna be employees anymore. We're gonna have slaves of the heathen, as it tells us in the scriptures, man. That's the future. Not being a perpetual slave for this goddamn system, man, that does nothing but drain your energy, zap your spirit, wear you down. Nah, man, we're gonna have the heathen build up our kingdom. They gonna be the laborers, and we're gonna reap the benefits. And we're gonna enjoy life forevermore in righteousness. Our true rest, which is promised unto us, and it's at the doors too, man. And for all you Israelites that come against the prophets in this message, fuck you. Gotta bring this one out real quick. The book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 7. "Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart." So if you had any wisdom in your mind, the Lord has imparted any wisdom in you, you would be upset at the situation that we find ourselves in. All right? Here it is. We're the greatest people on the face of the earth. The Lord's chosen people, but you're working for a goddamn cave beast. You see what I'm saying? A PDF file, degenerate. And you're cool with that. Showing you that you lack wisdom, whoever this applies to, but us as the hopeful elect. Hey, we ready for the Lord to cast this goddamn devil out of power once and for all, man. All right? We're ready to come out of this punishment, because that's what this is. This is a punishment unto us, having to work a job. You see what I'm saying? That's not how the Israelites are supposed to live. Let's prove that real quick. All right, real quick before I continue on, it says, "And a gift destroyeth the heart." The heart is your mind. All right, so if Jake has a so-called high-paying job, they don't want to leave this bitch. You see, Jake feel like he winning. Esau gives you some of the crumbs off of his fucking table, and you feel like you're good. You feel like you're set. And that's what happens with a lot of our people, man. That's why these celebrities, they sell out, or they reject the Lord, because they feel like they're good, man. They don't want to rule anymore. They got a nice car. They got a nice house, or a couple of houses, a couple of cars, or whatever. They don't feel like they're in captivity. They don't give a damn about the rest of their people who are suffering. That's why it says a gift destroyeth the heart. A lot of our people have sold out to this oppressive system. All right? Their minds have become blinded by that gift, which is nothing really but crumbs off of Esau's table, man. He's really balling out of control. The little shit that Jake got, even the celebrities of our people, is nothing compared to what these damn Edomites got. So check this out real quick, all right? For you bootlicking Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans that want to continually kiss Esau's ass, all right? This is in our law right here. Book of Leviticus, chapter 25, verse 44. Both thy bondmen and thy bondmaids, all right, slave men and slave women, which thou shalt have, shall be of the heathen that are round about you. Of them shall ye buy bondmen and bondmaids. You see that there? This is in the law. All right? Our slaves or our employees are of the heathen. Meaning, we're in a position of authority. That's what the word is coming back to. This is what Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai is bringing back for us, man. This is in our law. You understand? And we know that in the kingdom, we're going to fulfill the law to the T. The law will be enforced in the kingdom of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai, the kingdom of heaven, which is at hand. We ain't going to be having no goddamn jobs, all right, in the kingdom of heaven. We're going to be delivering out continual employment for the heathen, as the scriptures tell us, all right? That's the vision that we have as the hopeful elect. The vision of Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai. This is the Lord's will right here. For all of you Israelites that have a problem with it, you lack understanding. And the Elder Apostle Gabar says this all the time, man. He says, royal people have subjects. Royal people have servants. You claim to be kings and gods, you know, you so-called Negroes and Latinos out there, man, and you Native Americans. Well, you're going to have servants, man. And that's exactly what you're going to have. Even the ones that disagree, that come up against us. The Lord going to kill your ass off, and you're going to be born back through the ones of the elect, men and women that do make it. Lord willing, we're of that number, all right? And you'll be in your right mind at that point. You're going to have servants and slaves of the heathen. And you're going to love it, man. You're going to praise the Lord for that, man. Watch. So you know I got to bring this one out. The book of Isaiah, chapter 14, starting at verse 1. For the Lord Yahweh, Bashmi Al-Shai, will have mercy on Jacob, all right? 12 tribes, the Israelites, and will yet choose Israel. Why? Because we're the chosen nation on the face of the earth. We're his chosen people. He didn't choose the heathen. And set them in their own land, all right? The land of Israel over there, from the Nile River to the Euphrates. You see? And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. This is a future prophecy that's going to come to pass very soon. You see that? It's talking about the strangers being the Israelite foreigners. They're going to come back to the understanding of who they are. They're going to cleave unto those who are in the truth, man. All right? They're going to cleave to the elect. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. It's talking about the heathen right here. So you got to understand that it switches from the Israelite foreigners to the actual Gentiles right here. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord Yahweh Bashmi Al-Shai for servants and handmaids. And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. There it is right there, plain as day. You can drop the mic. All right? So all you modern Christians out there that don't know what the fuck you're talking about, it clearly tells us right here that in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to possess the heathen as servants and handmaids. The finest of the heathen women will be our concubines in the kingdom. You understand? Lesser wives underneath our Israelite wives. You understand? That's what's coming, as it is written. And you Edomites, goodness gracious, man. We're going to beat the fuck out of you every day except for the high holy days and the Sabbaths, man. All right? You're going to catch 1,000 years of pure hardcore bondage. You're going to have the worst part out of all the nations. Goddamn devils, understand that's what's coming, whether you like it or not. We don't give a fuck. This is what the Lord has said. So get ready for slavery, boy. All right? We're going to rule over our oppressors in the kingdom of heaven. Not be looking to have a good job. You understand? We're going to be putting y'all to work. Because you heathen are our servants, man. The Lord designed the heathen nations to serve the Israelites. We are the head nation in the earth. They follow our orders as we follow the orders of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And the earth is going to get back to that paradise because of that order being established when Yahweh Shai returns. We ain't all equal, man. Salakia. Verse 3. And it shall come to pass in the day that the Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from thy hard and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve. Do you understand that, man? We were made to work these fucking jobs, man. Not because we want to. Anybody that wants to go out here and work for the heathen, all right, and get a small paycheck for, their labors, they're not in their right mind. Just the other day I was at my job, and one of the managers, one of the higher ups, should I say, at this particular job that I was at, he was telling the employees, how much money they made off of certain certain deals that they, locked in. And then he went to say that, we'll give, our employees $30 per diem if they have to travel out of town, And I was like, what the fuck? And Jake, in the audience, man, I just saw him looking, and they were just like ecstatic about that for some reason. I'm like, nigga, what are you talking about? This man just told you that they made all these thousands of dollars off this particular deal, and you only get $30 for per diem. Like, come on, man. Jake don't even understand that was a slap in the face. You can't do shit with no $30, man. But Jake is institutionalized, man. Our people are institutionalized. I was looking at grown-ass men from the Southern Kingdom and the Northern Kingdom. Didn't have a problem with that at all, man. I might have been the only one there that was actually thinking in my right mind, like, yo, that's a slap in the face, man. Here it is, Esau making thousands of dollars off your hard labor, and all you get is $30 per diem. And he's acting like he's giving you a deal. Oh, we gotta get the fuck out of here, man. But yeah, just wanted to, share that with you. All right, before I wrap it up, man, I want to bring this one out. All right, this is the book of James, chapter 5, verse 4. This is happening right now as we speak. It says, behold, it means look here, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud, crieth, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. You see that? And that word Sabaoth means Lord of armies. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, they're in control of all heaven's armies. See what I'm saying? And the thing is that our cries are being heard in these last days, because guess what? These devils are keeping back, our profit by fraud, man. You work your ass off for this damn devil your whole fucking life. You don't get shit in return, man. Anything really substantial for all your labor. Here it is, you're building this man's kingdom, and you didn't even get a retirement, man. You didn't even really get anything substantial to set your family for the next few generations. You see, while they're living off of the back of our forefathers, man. All right, slavery. Stole this land from the so-called Latinos and Native Americans. They're passing down generational wealth without even having to put in a hard day's labor. But Jack is okay with that, man. You see, he got a good job. He can't pass shit down to his kids or his grandchildren, but he got a good job. He's cool with that. This is why people that think like that gotta go, man. We are thinking of the kingdom, man. Because in the kingdom of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're going to be the lenders and not the borrowers, man. We're going to be the head and not the tail. That's a kingdom mentality, man. That's the vision that the Lord has for us. Because when you go against that, you're an anti-Messiah. Or as a Christian would say, you're an antichrist. When you go against the Israelites being in authority and rulership and having servants and slaves of the heathen, you're against the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. You got to go. Okay? But yeah, our cries are being heard, man. The Lord hears our spirit crying out every damn day. Every day you clock into that job and you let out that sigh. The Lord hears that, man. All right? And he's moving. He's taking his goddamn system down as we speak. So we're rejoicing at the collapse of Babylon the Great, at the collapse of Esau, Edom, and his power structure. Let him bring that goddamn RFID microchip so the Lord can cast his ass down once and for all, because that's exactly what's going to happen. As soon as they make that RFID microchip mandatory to buy and to sell and to work and to do anything in this society, you can expect those missiles to rain in the midst of World War III and Yahushua to return to save the elect. Lord willing, we're of that number. I got one more. I'm going to wrap it up. All right, here we have Deuteronomy 15 and verse 6. It says, "For the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, thy power, blesseth thee, as he promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, but thou shalt not borrow. And thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee." That's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what's going to be done. All right? Point blank, period. That's what we need. That's that true rest. You understand? That your spirit desires. Even the 2/3, man, they can't understand it though. They trying to look for that rest in this society. Nah, man, the rest is not here in this current society. It's in Yahushua returning and setting this up. The righteous order of the Israelites on top and the other nations serving us, adhering to the laws of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. That's what's coming. That's what's needed. And that's what's getting ready to happen. So I'm in this lesson right here, man. Just want to share that with you, man. That dude on that Steve Harvey show, man. That blew my mind. You see, Jake wanted a good job in the kingdom of heaven. Get your mind right, Jake. All right? I know only the elect will. So with that being said, I'm in it right there. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachah, Quadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who teach and who rule well, who taught us this truth through the power and spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. It's almost over, baby. Kingdom of heaven is at hand. The day of the Lord is at hand. Hold on to the faith. Call me Yasharala in the Bible bar. Shalom to the elect.